Chosen one. Listen carefully. Heaven has interrupted your timeline for a reason. You've been feeling it, the sudden pull, the whirlwind energy, the way someone has appeared out of nowhere, speaking words that sound like forever. They talk about marriage, about destiny, about how you're the one they've been waiting for. It all feels intense, almost holy, and yet your spirit isn't at peace. That unrest inside you is not fear, it is divine discernment. Heaven says this rush isn't natural, it's spiritual. There's a reason they want to marry you so fast. You are not an ordinary soul. You carry divine light, and your presence exposes what's false in others. Your purity unsettles pretenders. Your peace confuses manipulators. Your destiny threatens darkness. And so, the enemy tries to bind you in covenant before your calling fully blooms. Some people appear as a blessing, but are secretly an assignment. They come quickly because if you had time to pray, to watch, to test the spirit, they'd lose access. That's why the pace feels unnatural. The counterfeit always rushes, heaven always prepares. Right now, heaven whispers, don't move with emotion, move with revelation. You've mistaken the adrenaline of attraction for the confirmation of the spirit. But not all affection is alignment. Some rush to secure your promise before you realize your power. Chosen one. You've been wondering, why can't it just work out easily? Why does something always feel off? Because God loves you too much to let you marry confusion. He has placed a wall of divine delay around your life. Not to torment you, but to protect you. You are not missing out. You are being preserved. The Spirit spoke through the Song of Solomon, chapter 8, verse 4. Do not awaken love until the time is right. Heaven is reminding you that love, when premature, becomes pine. God's timing is never late. It's surgical. Every moment you wait refines your discernment. Every unanswered message, every cancelled date, every uneasy silence, those are not rejections, they are redirections. There are people who crave your anointing more than your affection. They sense the oil upon your life and mistake proximity for purpose. But heaven is saying tonight, guard your crown. You cannot be joined to someone who drains what God has poured. The one ordained for you will not push, they will protect. They won't demand commitment before cultivating trust. They won't need to convince you through pressure, because divine peace will confirm what words cannot. Remember this truth: anything that requires you to silence your spirit to keep it is not from heaven. Pause, breathe, and release the rush. The reason you feel warfare around relationships is because your union carries kingdom weight. Hell attacks what heaven anoints. The enemy knows that once you align with your true counterpart, your combined light will shatter the atmosphere. That's why distractions arrive dressed as destiny. Don't let loneliness drive you into a lifetime of spiritual compromise. This is your season of stillness. God is not withholding, He is revealing. Every delay is a deliverance in disguise. Heaven is saying, I am saving you from what looked right, but wasn't righteous. Chosen one. Type 777 inches, the comments right now, as a prophetic act of agreement, declaring that you choose divine timing over emotional urgency. This number marks your obedience, your trust in heaven's pace. And if this message speaks to your spirit, don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, and subscribe, because someone out there is about to be trapped by a counterfeit love. and your obedience could be the message that saves them. This is heaven's interruption, and it just exposed the reason behind the rush. Heaven is not done speaking to you. This message is more than confirmation. It's a divine checkpoint. You are being called to pause before stepping into something that could alter your entire destiny. The pressure you feel to decide quickly is not from God. True love never demands urgency. It carries peace. Heaven will never rush what is meant to last. What's from God will stand the test of patience and purity. This is your time to strengthen your discernment, not surrender it. Let the Spirit teach you the rhythm of divine timing. Your heart is precious, your purpose sacred. Do not let anyone convince you that you must settle for less just to feel seen. Heaven sees you already. Heaven celebrates your restraint. Waiting is not weakness, it is worship. Stay aligned. Stay guarded. Stay ready. Heaven has already written your love story. And when the moment arrives, it will not come through confusion, but through confirmation. Remember, you are chosen. And chosen ones do not chase, they discern. They call it love at first sight. But heaven calls it a counterfeit rush. It comes disguised in words that sound perfect. You're my soulmate. I just know we're meant to be. Why wait when destiny has already spoken? But behind that urgency hides a spiritual tactic designed to confuse your discernment. You've seen it before. How someone appears suddenly, pours out affection, and builds intensity at lightning speed, what they call passion. Heaven exposes as pressure. The enemy understands something about your heart. Chosen one. He knows that your greatest desire is not attention, it's connection. You crave depth, loyalty, purpose, and because you move from a place of truth, he sends those who mimic it. These people don't always come as villains. They come quoting scripture, praying loud, saying, God sent me. But heaven says, not every voice that mentions God has met him. The counterfeit rush uses divine language to cover demonic intent. You may have noticed how they skip stages, how they speak of marriage before friendship, plans before prayer, commitment before character. That is the strategy. When something moves too fast, you don't have time to see the roots. It's like a storm that looks powerful, but leaves destruction after it passes. God does not build storms, he builds structures. The kingdom of heaven is deliberate, layer by layer, truth by truth, not emotion by emotion. The book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 2. Desire without knowledge is not good. How much more will hasty feet miss the way? This ancient wisdom pierces straight through today's illusions. It reminds you that not every desire deserves acceleration. Even holy intentions, when rushed, can become unholy outcomes. Heaven's timing refines desire into discernment. Hell's pressure twists desire into distraction. The difference lies in whether you move from peace or panic. The Spirit of God is patient. Love, inspired by the Spirit, is secure, not frantic. But love manipulated by the flesh is desperate, always fearing loss, always demanding assurance. That's why these rushed relationships feel exhausting. They drain your peace because they are powered by fear, not faith. The counterfeit rush feeds on urgency. It whispers, if you don't say yes now, you'll lose your chance. Yet the truth is the opposite. When something is divine, It will not vanish under delay. What's from God can wait. Heaven wants you to understand what's happening behind the scenes. The moment your spiritual glow rises, both the divine and the demonic take notice. You become visible in the spirit realm, Angelsgard. But counterfeit souls are drawn too, sensing your favor. That's why your love life often feels like warfare. You think it's romance, but it's recognition. The light in you exposes hearts around you. The ones sent by heaven are humbled by it. The ones sent by darkness are addicted to it. Some of them do not even know they are being used. They believe they are in love, but something in them wants to possess, not protect. They are drawn by what you carry, not who you are. That's why they rush to tie themselves to your destiny before you realize their true motive. But heaven steps in to slow the process. When divine protection surrounds you, things that aren't meant to last begin to crumble quickly. What looks like rejection is often divine redirection. Think back to every person who came with intensity but faded in silence. That wasn't your failure, it was exposure. Heaven allowed their masks to slip so your heart could see the truth. Every unanswered message, every sudden withdrawal, every confusing goodbye, it all worked together to protect your anointing. You prayed for clarity. This is what it looks like. Clarity sometimes comes wrapped in disappointment. The Spirit wants to train your eyes to see beyond emotion. You must learn to discern energy, not just words. When a soul speaks of forever after a few days, ask yourself, are they captivated by my heart or by the peace that follows me? The difference will save you from heartbreak and delay. Heaven never hurries love. God orchestrates timing that aligns with purpose. Real connection will always lead you closer to your calling, not away from it. When it's right, the peace of heaven will rest on you like quiet water. It will not feel like fire consuming you, but like light revealing you. You are not too cautious for waiting. You are wise. The world mocks those who pause for prayer, but heaven honors restraint. Let the world chase feelings, you will follow faith. When something is of God, you won't have to fight for attention or clarity. It will unfold naturally, protected by the same grace that chose you. Be still. Chosen one. You are being guarded from premature promises. Every delay right now is divine surgery, removing attachments that could poison your purpose. Let patience finish her work. Soon, what is real will not have to be rushed. There is a reason your spirit feels uneasy when love comes too fast. Deep within, you can sense when something doesn't carry heaven's fragrance. The words may sound right. The gestures may look sincere. Yet your heart feels a quiet alarm. That alarm is the Spirit whispering, discern the speed. Because everything that moves fast isn't progress. Sometimes it's pursuit from the wrong source. Discernment is your greatest protection. When emotions rise, truth gets blurry. The enemy knows this. That's why he sends intensity first and revelation later. He rushes the introduction so you won't pause for examination. But heaven wants you trained to recognize the spirit behind the speed. Every connection carries an energy. The right ones bring peace and clarity. The wrong ones bring confusion wrapped in charm. You can always feel it, the difference between divine pursuit and desperate possession. The divine will wait for your yes. The counterfeit demands it. The divine respects boundaries. The counterfeit blames you for them. The divine speaks of prayer. The counterfeit speaks of pressure. That's the pattern. The enemy rushes. Heaven refines. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. No, that sound mind is what the Spirit is sharpening in you right now. It's the ability to see through words, to read beyond gestures, to hear truth even in silence. When someone enters your life, listen not only to what they say, but to what your peace says. The Spirit will never lead you into panic. Where there is divine love, there is balance, not chaos. Many rush to marry you because they sense what you carry, a calm authority, a deep strength, a glow that speaks of destiny. Your very presence unsettles unhealed souls. They believe that having you will heal them, but only God can do that. You were never meant to be anyone's savior. You are a vessel of light, not a substitute for God's grace. That is why heaven is teaching you discernment, so that love will not become a battlefield of draining spirits. You've likely met people who said, "I feel like I've known you forever." The words sound romantic, but sometimes they echo a soul tie from a past season or a spiritual imitation of divine familiarity. The enemy uses counterfeit memories, manufactured emotions to trick you into quick attachment. But the Holy Spirit says, test the peace, not the passion. If the connection steals your focus from God, if it weakens your discipline, it's not love, it's distraction dressed as destiny. There is no need to fear being alone. Heaven never leaves you in isolation. It hides you for preparation. Every time God separates you, He is sharpening your sight. He removes voices that blur your hearing, so that when the real one comes, your spirit will recognize them instantly. You won't need endless signs. You'll simply know. The same peace that protected you from the counterfeit will confirm the authentic. Discernment isn't suspicion, it's stewardship. It's guarding what God entrusted to you. You are the keeper of your calling, and not everyone deserves access to it. Your heart is a gate, not a revolving door. Let only those with clean intentions enter. The right person will never be intimidated by your boundaries. They will honor them. This is the season where your spiritual senses must become sharper than your emotions. Do not be swayed by the performance of love. Measure its spirit. Look for humility, consistency, and peace. The wrong one may imitate passion, but they cannot imitate purity. Now, type "I see truth" in the comments. When you write these 3 words, you are not just typing, you are declaring. You are opening your spiritual eyes wider than your emotions. You are telling heaven, I choose sight over seduction. This simple act aligns your atmosphere with discernment. It signals to every unseen watcher that your heart is no longer easy prey, that you stand guarded in wisdom. Each letter you type becomes a shield in the spirit, marking you as one who walks by revelation, not impulse. From this moment, clarity will become your language. Where others see excitement, you will see motive. Where others hear promises, you will hear patterns. Heaven will teach you to sense truth before words are spoken, to recognize deception before it draws near. You have been awakened, and the counterfeit rush will never again confuse your heart. You are stepping into prophetic awareness. From this day forward, your spirit will no longer chase noise, it will follow, knowing heaven's light now governs your love, your sight, and your steps. You have always wondered why people are drawn to you so quickly. You walk into a room and conversations shift. Eyes follow. Energy changes. Some are inspired. Others are unsettled. And you can feel it even before they speak. This isn't vanity, it's spiritual reality. You carry light, and light does not enter unnoticed. Heaven placed a mark on you long ago, a seal that identifies you as chosen. That seal attracts attention in both realms. Angels recognize it and protect it. Darkness sees it and wants to drain it. The truth is, your spirit is magnetic, not because of appearance, charm, or words, but because of divine energy, peace, purity, and power. That's why people are drawn to you faster than you can understand. They feel something they can't explain. Your presence brings conviction. Your kindness brings exposure. To some, that feels like healing. To others, it feels like discomfort. They are not reacting to you. They are reacting to what's inside you. Heaven wants you to see this clearly so you don't mistake attraction for alignment. Many come close because your light reminds them of what they lost. They want your peace without pursuing the God who gave it to you. They want your glow without your discipline, your favor without your obedience. Some may not even know why they want to marry you so fast. It's not your personality they crave, it's your presence. They feel safe in your energy because you carry the presence of God. But not everyone drawn to light can handle it. Some admire it until it exposes their shadows. That's when admiration turns into confusion, and closeness becomes conflict. The same anointing that heals one person can offend another. You are not meant to dim to make others comfortable. Heaven says, shine, even when your light blinds those not ready to see. The Spirit spoke through the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Your light was never meant to blend in. You were born to stand out. And that visibility comes with spiritual responsibility. When you walk in truth, falsehoods get restless. When you speak peace, chaos looks for entry. The magnet of your spirit attracts both the desperate and the divine. You are being called to discern which is which. Some will rush toward you because they think proximity equals transformation. But unless they are willing to change, closeness only magnifies what's broken in them. That's why many relationships with chosen ones burn bright, but fade quickly. The light reveals too much too soon. You cannot dim to keep temporary company. If they are meant for you, they will grow to match your glow. You must learn to recognize spiritual hunger from spiritual leeching. The hungry seek God through you. The leeching seek God in you. And when they can't find what they want, they drain what you carry. That's why heaven sometimes separates you even from good people, because connection without alignment can still lead to depletion. The magnetic pull of your anointing is not a curse. It's a sign that your destiny is active. Heaven gives light to attract the right partnerships, not to entertain every interest. You are a divine mirror. People see in you what they lack. That's why flattery follows favor. But you must never mistake attention for assignment. Every time someone rushes to claim you, pause and pray. Ask heaven, is this attraction or alignment? If the answer brings peace, proceed slowly. If it brings confusion, step back quickly. Light does not negotiate with darkness, it exposes it. This is why God keeps you hidden in certain seasons. You think He's delaying your relationships, but He's actually guarding your glow. You cannot be connected to just anyone. When you unite with another soul, energies merge, purposes intertwine, and destinies alter. Heaven refuses to let your light be trapped in the wrong vessel. You must accept that being chosen means being noticed and misunderstood. People will project their emptiness onto you, thinking you can fill it. But you are not a remedy, you are a revelation. Your job is not to fix everyone who feels drawn to you. Your task is to remain grounded in truth while heaven filters your connections. Do not resent your magnetism. Honor it. It means your spirit is alive, active, and visible in realms unseen. Just remember, the brighter the flame, the more moths it draws. Your wisdom will decide which ones stay. Sometimes, heaven allows the counterfeit to come first, not to trick you, but to train you. Every false start, every short-lived almost, has been a rehearsal for wisdom. You have learned what peace feels like by encountering what is not peace. You have discovered what love truly means by watching how quickly imitation fades. Nothing has been wasted. Every tear, every disappointment, every goodbye has been part of your divine education. Heaven says, now you know the difference. You are no longer easily moved by pretty words or urgent promises. You are learning to wait for fruit, not flowers, because flowers bloom fast and fade faster. But fruit takes time, and only fruit can feed destiny. The fast ones wanted to impress you. The real one will invest in you. You are stepping into a season where clarity replaces confusion. The Spirit is training your heart to move slower, speak softer, and see deeper. You no longer chase love, you host it. Your peace is your new perfume. Your stillness, your greatest strength. Those who are meant to walk beside you will recognize it, not resist it. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 17. The fruit of righteousness will be peace. Its effect will be quietness and confidence forever. Then, that is what heaven is building in you now. Quiet confidence, not loud assurance, not disparate affirmation, but a calm knowing that what's for you will recognize you without being rushed. You are being shaped into a vessel of peace, a living example that love doesn't need pressure to prove itself. But as you grow in light, heaven reminds you of something sacred. You are not just meant to receive revelation, but to carry it forward. Every message that touches you is a seed planted in your spirit. When you share it, you become part of heaven's harvest. If these words have reached you deeply, let them keep flowing. Click like, not for numbers, but as an echo that says, I receive this peace. Share this message as a ripple on still water, one gentle act that might reach a soul drowning in confusion. Subscribe, so this current of light can continue, finding you whenever heaven releases a new word. And if your heart feels stirred to give, do it freely, without pressure. Your donation is not payment, it's a seed carried by the wind of faith. Imagine a dandelion, its white crown scattering tiny seeds across a field. Our gift, small or large, becomes one of those seeds, carried by the breath of heaven to land in soil you may never see. Somewhere, that seed will bloom as hope in someone's heart. Maybe you can't stand on a stage or preach with a microphone, but when you choose to give, you become a silent messenger. You help keep this space alive, this flow of revelation, unbroken. Heaven doesn't measure the amount, it measures the heart. So, let your support be light, like the soft rhythm of waves returning to the shore. Come freely, give gently, and let gratitude lead. Every act of kindness, every like, every share, every seed keeps the tide of truth moving forward. You are not an observer of this journey, you are part of it. Together we are building something unseen, a quiet lighthouse in the middle of stormy waters. And every time you return, every time you engage, the light grows stronger for the next soul searching in the dark. Thank you for being part of that light. Thank you for breathing life into these words. Heaven smiles upon those who understand the quiet power of gratitude. Every seed of kindness you plant returns multiplied, though not always in the form you expect. Sometimes it comes back as unexpected peace, other times as divine opportunity, and often as strength to keep walking when you feel weary. Nothing given from love ever disappears. It transforms into unseen blessings that circle back in perfect time. There are moments when the act of giving feels like breathing. You inhale revelation, and you exhale generosity. It is a rhythm of heaven itself. Receive, release, and receive again. Each gesture of faith becomes a wave that keeps this ocean of light alive. The tide doesn't demand the river, it welcomes it. So let your heart remain open to that rhythm. Remember, even a whisper of goodness can shift an atmosphere. One kind act, one simple share, one silent prayer can travel further than you imagine. Heaven multiplies sincerity. You are not just supporting a message, you are sustaining a mission, a quiet movement of faith, one heart at a time. The story is not ending here. It's flowing forward through every soul that dares to love, give, and believe again. Waiting can feel like silence, but in heaven's language, silence is strategy. When you are chosen, God will sometimes remove every distraction, every familiar voice, every potential relationship until it's just you and Him. Not because He wants to isolate you, but because He wants to insulate you. In this quiet, He is teaching you to hear Him more clearly than ever before. You may feel alone, but you are actually being reintroduced to your true strength. Heaven has not forgotten you. Every delay is divine timing in disguise. You are not being punished. You are being preserved. When others run ahead, your stillness feels strange, but it is sacred. God is hiding you in plain sight until your spirit becomes unshakable. The season of silence is where the counterfeit loses its grip and where discernment matures into wisdom. Do you remember those moments when you almost compromised, when loneliness whispered that waiting wasn't worth it, yet something inside told you to hold on a little longer? That voice was heaven's hand, holding you back from what looked right but wasn't righteous. You may not have understood it then, but heaven saw traps hidden under tenderness, promises wrapped in performance. It was revealed in the book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 26. It is good that one should wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord. This verse isn't about idleness, it's about posture. To wait quietly means to trust without panic, to believe even when nothing moves. Heaven is testing your stillness, not to break you, but to build the kind of faith that cannot be manipulated. In this quiet space, your soul begins to detox from the noise of the world. Every anxious thought starts losing power. You start recognizing how peaceful solitude feels compared to forced connection. Heaven replaces your fear of missing out with the confidence of divine timing. The truth is, nothing that's truly meant for you will require you to rush to keep it. The waiting season is where strength is born. Just as a seed must stay buried before it blooms, your purpose is taking root beneath the soil of silence. You may not see growth yet, but heaven does. Every tear, every prayer whispered through the night, every moment you've chosen faith over fear, it's watering your destiny. And when the right one arrives, you will not have to question. You won't need to chase signs or beg for confirmation. Peace will announce it before words are spoken. Because peace is the language of heaven, and real love always speaks it fluently. Still, this waiting comes with warfare. The enemy wants you restless. He will whisper, "Time is running out." He will send counterfeits dressed in urgency, hoping you'll trade purpose for partnership. But you've grown wiser now. You know that a love sent from heaven never competes with your calling, it completes it. You will no longer settle for temporary comfort that costs eternal peace. Heaven says this: don't mistake stillness for stagnation. The soil doesn't move, but it works in silence. Your prayers are not ignored, they're germinating. When the season shifts, everything will bloom at once. You will understand why every delay was divine, why every no was protection, why every lonely night was a classroom for faith. Now heaven invites you to make a declaration, not out of ritual, but out of revelation. Type 333 inches the comments below. The number 333 is not random. It carries a spiritual whisper of alignment, protection, and divine partnership. It symbolizes the presence of heaven's hand over your process, reminding you that the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are all working together for your good. When you type it, you are saying, "I am aligned with heaven's pace. I trust the Trinity's timing. I release control." And this act is not superstition, it's symbolism. You are marking your waiting season as sacred ground. Every number typed becomes a small flag of faith planted in the soil of your patience. Heaven sees those who declare with conviction, not with panic. Every time you write 333, picture yourself standing between promise and fulfillment, holding peace instead of pressure. You are not behind. You are becoming. The silence that once felt heavy is now holy, and it's forming in you the kind of strength that cannot be shaken by loneliness or delay. Your waiting is not wasted, it's womb time. Something holy is being formed, quietly but powerfully. Heaven is crafting a future where love and destiny will finally speak the same language. Stay patient, stay pure, stay present. The silence is speaking miracles on your behalf. Loneliness can become a weapon when you forget its purpose. The enemy studies your longing and waits for moments when your heart feels most empty. He knows that a hungry soul will often mistake attention for affection. That's why he doesn't attack with obvious darkness, he attacks with warmth. He sends you people who say all the right things, who promise consistency, who reflect your dreams just enough to feel safe. But beneath the surface, their presence carries an assignment: to drain the light that took you years to build. Heaven wants you to see this clearly. The ache you feel in your heart isn't proof that something is missing, it's proof that something sacred is growing. The emptiness you feel at times isn't punishment, it's preparation. God sometimes allows a divine ache to stretch your spirit so that it can carry what's coming next. You can't be filled until you've been emptied, and you can't be strong until you've learned to stand in the quiet. When you feel that familiar ache, the late-night longing, the quiet sadness that visits when no one calls, don't rush to silence it. Sit with it. Ask heaven, what are you teaching me here? Because loneliness, when held in God's hands, becomes language. It speaks of trust, surrender, and transformation. It is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Oh, this promise is not poetic comfort, it's literal truth. When your spirit breaks, heaven draws near. The silence becomes saturated with presence. The more you lean into Him, the more your loneliness transforms into revelation. Suddenly, the nights that used to feel heavy begin to feel holy. You start realizing that the ache itself is proof of His nearness. The enemy hates this. He wants you to believe that your solitude means abandonment. He wants to convince you that waiting equals rejection. But heaven says, I have hidden you to heal you. You are being strengthened where no one can see it. Every time you choose not to text the wrong person, every time you choose prayer over panic, you grow stronger in the spirit. What feels like isolation is actually divine detox. You are shedding attachments that can't follow you into the next chapter. The loneliness is cleansing your discernment. It's showing you the difference between company and connection. You're learning that not everyone who stays beside you is meant to walk with you. Some people stay because they love your light, not because they understand your path. Heaven is removing them quietly, so your future won't be corrupted by unhealed intentions. You are being taught the holy art of emotional fasting. Just as the body detoxes from unhealthy food, the spirit must detox from unhealthy affection. It is not easy to unlearn dependency. It hurts to outgrow what once made you feel safe. But heaven whispers, if you knew what I was preparing, you would not mourn what I removed. No, loneliness, when embraced, turns into clarity. It reveals who truly values your heart versus who values what you can give. It reminds you that love without peace isn't love, it's distraction. It teaches you to stop begging for belonging and start building boundaries. And most of all, it reminds you that your worth was never meant to be measured by who stays or who leaves. Heaven is transforming your solitude into strength. You are learning to enjoy your own company again, to find wonder in small things, to hear God's voice in the quiet. You are rediscovering what it means to breathe without permission, to laugh without an audience, to exist without validation. The same silence that once terrified you is now teaching you intimacy with the Creator. And soon, this season will shift. The very strength you've cultivated in solitude will draw the right connections at the right time. But by then, you won't be desperate, you'll be discerning. You'll no longer see love as escape, but as extension. You won't run into arms out of emptiness. You'll walk in alignment out of fullness. So don't despise this quiet place. It's holy ground. It's where God turns loneliness into language and longing into legacy. When this chapter ends, you won't remember the waiting with bitterness. You'll remember it as the season where heaven reintroduced you to yourself. The silence that once felt like an empty room will soon feel like a sanctuary. You are not alone. You are surrounded by purpose, guarded by peace, strengthened by heaven. Your loneliness is losing its voice, and your spirit is learning its song. What once felt like waiting now feels like worship, sacred and strong. Have you noticed how suddenly people begin to notice you when you start healing? It's as if the moment you find peace, attention finds you. There's something in your stillness that stirs others, something magnetic, mysterious, holy. Heaven reveals that this is not coincidence, it's recognition. Your light has changed realms. When you were anxious, you blended in. Now that you walk in peace, you stand out. The world can sense it before you even speak. You carry something rare, the reflection of transformation. Every trial, every heartbreak, every lonely night has refined your energy. You don't chase validation anymore. You radiate wholeness. That's why people suddenly appear, drawn not by your looks or your voice, but by the calm authority around you. You've become evidence that healing is possible. Some are drawn to learn, others to take, but all of them feel something divine when they're near you. The Spirit wants you to understand what's truly happening. When the presence of God rests upon you, it releases an invisible signal into the atmosphere. It's not charisma, it's calling. It draws people who need light, but it also draws those who live in shadow. The same anointing that comforts one heart can convict another. You are no longer invisible because heaven has decided to display you as testimony. It was declared in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. End of. That verse isn't just poetic, it's prophetic. It describes what is happening in your life right now. The reason certain people notice you so quickly is because your spirit has risen. Your light is no longer dimmed by doubt or shame. You have stepped into awareness of who you are, and heaven's mark upon you is visible to every realm. You may wonder, why do some people suddenly admire me, while others avoid me? Heaven answers, because your presence now reveals truth. Those who walk in authenticity will be drawn to you, and those who hide in pretense will retreat. Your energy is now a mirror. Some see healing when they look at you, others see their own wounds. Both are reactions to the same light. This is why discernment matters more than ever. As your light grows, attraction increases. But not all attraction is alignment. Some will approach with pure hearts, wanting to learn from your peace. Others will come to drain it. You must ask the Spirit daily, who sent them? Because not everyone who notices you is meant to know you. Heaven is preparing you to walk among crowds without losing your clarity, to be admired without becoming addicted to approval, to be seen without surrendering your sanctity. The more your light spreads, the more humility must anchor you. Light without humility becomes glare. It blinds instead of guides. That's why heaven grounds you in stillness before elevation. This new attention can feel both exciting and uncomfortable. Some days you'll feel honored, other days exposed. Don't shrink back. You are not meant to hide the evidence of divine work. When people approach you, let your response carry grace, not fear. You are not responsible for who is drawn to your light. You are responsible for what you do with their attention. Let every conversation become an opportunity to reflect God's character. The Spirit says, your visibility is your ministry. Every smile you share, every kind word you speak, every boundary you uphold. These are sermons without microphones. Your consistency will reach further than your voice ever could. Understand this truth. Being seen is not the reward. It's the responsibility. Heaven doesn't raise you to be famous. It raises you to be faithful. You are not an influencer of people. You are an influencer of atmospheres. Wherever you go, peace should follow. But be prepared. Visibility attracts observation and opposition. The more your light shines, the more darkness will study you. That's why heaven equips you with discernment, humility, and quiet confidence. When criticism comes, don't defend, remain still. When admiration comes, don't boast, remain thankful. Light needs no announcement, it simply shines. You have entered a divine paradox, hidden yet visible, ordinary yet extraordinary, human yet holy. This is the balance heaven wants you to master, to walk among many, but be moved only by one. So when you notice new faces drawn to you, remember it's not about you being special, it's about heaven being visible through you. Shine without arrogance and walk without fear. The light you carry was never meant to make you famous. It was meant to make God known. There is a reason, love, for you, has always felt like warfare. Every connection, every heartbreak, every unexpected ending, it has all carried weight beyond emotion. Because for the chosen, relationships are not merely personal, they are prophetic. Each bond you form echoes in the spiritual realm, shaping destinies, shifting atmospheres, and influencing future generations. That's why the enemy targets your heart. He knows if he can capture your emotions, he can distract your mission. Heaven reveals that love is not just a feeling, it's a battlefield where loyalty, purity, and discernment are tested. You've probably noticed that when you try to love deeply, strange resistance rises, confusion, miscommunication, misunderstanding. That's not random. The closer you get to forming a divine covenant, the harder the opposition fights to stop it. The Spirit spoke through the Gospel of John, chapter 10, verse 10. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. That scripture isn't just about salvation, it's about awareness. The thief doesn't always come wearing darkness. Sometimes he arrives disguised as devotion. He doesn't steal your joy in one blow. He drains it through distraction. He doesn't destroy peace with open war. He does it through subtle compromise. This is why your relationships feel intense. Every soul connection you make triggers movement in the unseen. When two chosen ones align, heaven celebrates, but hell trembles. That's why you attract both warfare and wonder. The light in you activates both realms at once. Some relationships are sent to sharpen you, others to shape you, and a few, unfortunately, to sabotage you. But even the sabotages are turned into strategies in God's hands. The very heartbreaks meant to destroy you became the forges that refined your discernment. Every tear shed became a seed of wisdom. Every goodbye taught you how to guard your heart without hardening it. The war over your heart has never been about romance. It has always been about rulership. Whoever sits in your heart influences your destiny. Heaven desires to fill it with divine purpose. The enemy wants to fill it with distraction. That's why you cannot attach emotionally without praying spiritually. Every "I love you" must first pass through the filter of peace. When you feel emotional warfare rising in relationships, pause. Don't argue, pray. Don't react, reflect. Because sometimes what you're feeling is not yours, it's atmospheric. The person across from you might be carrying spirits of confusion, fear, or unhealed pain. And your sensitivity picks it up. The enemy uses this to cause friction and wear you down emotionally, but once you recognize it, the spell breaks. You stop fighting the person and start commanding the spirit behind the conflict. Heaven wants to remind you that you are not losing in love. You are learning warfare in love. You are learning to love without losing yourself. You are learning to give without surrendering your peace. You are learning to walk away when discernment says no, even when emotion says stay. The divine truth is this: real love is never built on constant confusion. Peace is its foundation, and purpose is its proof. You are being trained to recognize when love uplifts versus when love manipulates. Now, type "I stand firm" in the comments. When you write those 3 words, you are performing a prophetic act. You are standing in the middle of your own battlefield and planting the flag of heaven upon your heart. "I stand firm" is not a sentence. It's a declaration that every storm of manipulation has lost its grip. You are saying to your past, "You will not define me." You are saying to your emotions, "You will not rule me." And you are saying to heaven, "I choose faith over fear, peace over pressure, wisdom over weakness." Let the act of typing become a prayer. As your fingers move, imagine angels writing beside you, recording your vow of strength. Every letter becomes armor, every word a wall of light. You are sealing your heart with discernment and declaring to every unseen power that your spirit will not bend again to confusion. This is not the cry of a wounded soul, it's the roar of a warrior reborn. From this moment forward, you do not chase love, you command peace. You do not beg to be chosen, you remember that you already are. You've reclaimed your heart as sacred ground. No counterfeit can enter where peace has built its walls. Heaven now guards what once felt fragile. Love will find you again, pure, patient, and prophetic. But this time, you'll recognize it not by passion, but by peace. There comes a moment in every chosen one's journey when heaven lifts the curtain and shows you the blueprint of divine love. You begin to see that God never intended marriage to be a rescue. It was always meant to be a reflection. It's not about completing one another, but about mirroring the image of grace and strength that heaven designed before time began. This is the stage you're entering now, the revelation of what divine union truly looks like. Heaven calls it alignment, not attraction. Alignment is when 2 spirits move in rhythm with God's plan, walking side by side, not chasing, not competing, but completing a shared purpose. The Spirit spoke in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 12. Though one may be overpowered, 2 can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. That 3rd strand is heaven itself. It's what holds 2 hearts steady when emotions waver, when seasons shift, when words fail. Without it, even love, built on passion, will crumble. But when heaven is woven in, it becomes an unbreakable braid, divine, steady, eternal. Heaven is showing you how to recognize this kind of connection. It won't rush you. It won't confuse you. It will come wrapped in patience, humility, and peace. The person meant for you will speak your spirit's language before they speak your name. You'll feel safety, not suspense, purpose, not pressure. And as you receive this message, take a quiet moment to breathe. You're not behind. You're being synchronized with something sacred. Heaven's timing is never late. It's lyrical, like a river flowing into the sea. Everything that's meant for you is finding its way back home. If these words bring warmth to your heart, let them ripple outward. Tap like if peace has found you tonight. It's a way of saying, I hear heaven. Share this message as a breeze carries fragrance softly, freely, letting it reach the ones who need it most. Subscribe, so this flow of light continues to reach you whenever heaven breathes a new word. And if you ever feel moved to help this light keep traveling, give only if it flows naturally. Like rain watering a thirsty field, your giving isn't an obligation, it's an echo of gratitude. Every drop becomes part of a larger river that reaches souls you may never meet, but who need what you have just received. Think of it like tending a garden. Every time you share, you're planting seeds of clarity in someone else's soil. Every like is a beam of sunlight that helps those seeds grow. Every donation is water drawn from your own well of compassion, refreshing unseen hearts on dry ground. Together, those small acts turn into a field of light across the world, one that keeps blooming, season after season. There's no pressure here, only invitation. If your heart feels stirred to support this mission, let it be gentle, sincere, and joyful, like giving a candle to help another find their way. Heaven sees the intent, not the amount. Every act born of love returns multiplied. Sometimes, a single click or small offering carries more power than a sermon. You never know whose midnight scroll will stop on this very message, whose tears will dry because you chose to keep the light alive. That's what partnership with heaven looks like, not obligation, but overflow. The Spirit whispers, you're part of the river now. Every act of faith, no matter how small, keeps the current flowing. The messages that reach you tonight are not mine, they are ours. They belong to every heart that has ever said yes to peace, yes to purpose, yes to light. So, thank you for listening, for believing, for standing. You are not just a receiver, you are a co-keeper of this flame. Together, we are the gentle current that carries heaven's voice across unseen oceans. When you support, share, or simply whisper a prayer, you remind heaven that the light still matters. And it does. Because somewhere, even now, another chosen one is awakening, and your ripple will reach them. Every heartbeat you offer to this mission becomes music in heaven's symphony. Nothing given in love ever fades. It echoes through eternity, touching hearts you'll never meet. You are part of a quiet revolution of light souls awakening, healing, and believing again. Together, we are proof that love still lives. Keep walking in peace. Keep watering the garden. Every gentle act, every share, every prayer extends the hand of heaven further across the world. Heaven watches, smiling through your obedience. The smallest seed of kindness you plant becomes a forest of light, growing quietly but powerfully, restoring hope where darkness once lived. There are unseen contracts in the spirit agreements that tie people together long after words are forgotten. Many of these bonds are born in moments of weakness, promises made in desperation, attachments formed in loneliness, vows whispered without discernment. Heaven calls them unholy covenants, and they can quietly drain your destiny if left unbroken. Some of these connections are not visible on the surface. You might feel fine, but deep within, Your peace feels fragmented. You think of a person you've left behind, yet your emotions still bend toward them like a magnet. You sense something pulling at your thoughts. Even after months or years apart, that pull is not nostalgia. It's a lingering agreement in the unseen. The Spirit of God reveals this truth to protect you, not to shame you. For the chosen ones, every word carries weight. When you said, "I love you forever," heaven recorded it. When you joined emotionally or physically without prayer, the spiritual world noticed. And even when the relationship ended, the contract remained active until it was renounced through truth and prayer. It was proclaimed in the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 18. Truly I tell you, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Oh, this is not poetic language, it's law. Heaven operates by principles of agreement. Whatever you joined with emotionally or spiritually can influence your present unless you intentionally release it. That's why sometimes you feel drained after dreaming of certain people, or why your emotions react when their name appears. These are signals of unfinished spiritual business. Heaven wants you free. You cannot walk into a divine covenant, still carrying fragments of counterfeit ones. The blessing of your next season requires the release of your last. God will not pour pure oil into a vessel that still leaks through cracks of the past. He is cleansing you from within, breaking silent agreements that no longer serve your purpose. You may remember moments when you said yes too easily, or gave parts of your heart without prayer. You might feel regret. But heaven doesn't condemn you. It invites you into redemption. Every false tie can be broken. Every invisible string can be cut. Freedom begins when you stop romanticizing what God already released. These covenants often linger because they are fed by memory. Every replay of an old conversation, every emotional revisit to a moment of passion, recharges the cord. The enemy thrives on repetition. He uses your recollection as renewal. That's why heaven teaches you to forgive and release. Not because others deserve peace, but because you do. The process of deliverance begins with recognition. Speak truth into the unseen. I release every name not aligned with my destiny. I break every vow made outside of divine will. As you speak, heaven listens. Words break what words once built. Don't be afraid of this process. It's sacred surgery. God is cutting cords that kept your heart entangled with confusion. The ache you feel afterward isn't loss, it's detox. You are reclaiming spiritual space once occupied by emotional residue. Once those cords are cut, you will notice the difference immediately. The dreams that once drained you will fade. The constant reminders will lose their pull. You'll breathe lighter because your spirit will no longer be tied to unseen weight. Understand this. Unholy covenants aren't just about romance. They can form with friendships, partnerships, or environments that demanded your loyalty over your obedience. Anything that required silence when God asked you to speak, or compromise when He asked you to stand, became a covenant with limitation. But heaven is merciful. Each revelation is a door to restoration. This chapter of your journey is about reclaiming authority. You are no longer a captive of your past attachments. You are a commander in your present purpose. Heaven is handing you spiritual scissors, saying, "Cut what no longer carries my name." After this cleansing, you will notice something beautiful. Peace will return not as a visitor, but as a resident. You will stop revisiting pain to feel connection. You will stop confusing nostalgia with love. You will stand free, finally understanding that holiness was never about perfection, it was about alignment. You are stepping out of entanglement into empowerment. The ties are breaking. The past is releasing. Your heart is being restored into the wholeness heaven intended. When God frees you, He doesn't just untie your hands, He restores your reach. What was once tangled in regret now becomes testimony. You are free, and your spirit breathes again. Walk forward lightly. The past no longer owns your pulse. Heaven has rewritten your name in freedom's ink, and peace is your new inheritance. There is a sacred pattern in the way heaven prepares you for promotion. It always begins with separation. Before elevation comes isolation. Before recognition comes refinement. The silence and stillness that surround you now are not evidence of absence, they are proof of preparation. God hides His greatest treasures until they are strong enough to carry what He is about to release. You are in that hidden season. Friends have drifted, plans have paused, and opportunities that once looked promising have vanished without explanation. But heaven whispers, do not mistake delay for denial. This is not the end, it is the in-between, where character is forged and vision becomes clear. The world sees stillness, heaven sees strategy. Think of how gold is refined. It must endure the fire not to destroy it, but to purify it. Every test you've faced lately is fire that burns away fear, pride, and impatience. You prayed for promotion. But, promotion, require purification. Heaven cannot crown what flesh still controls. So the waiting continues not to punish you, but to prepare you for wait. It was spoken in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 4. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. And that is what heaven is doing now, finishing the work. The silence is sculpting your soul. The loneliness is stretching your faith. The delay is deepening your dependence. Heaven is not ignoring your prayers, it's answering them in disguise. Every not yet from God carries the same love as every yes. This isolation isn't empty, it's intentional. It's where God rewrites your identity. When no one is around to applaud you, you learn to draw strength from His presence alone. When the noise fades, you finally hear your purpose clearly. When no one validates you, you realize heaven already has. You stop chasing affirmation because you begin to become it. You may feel like your life has been paused, but heaven is pressing roots beneath the soil. You're learning endurance, discipline, and depth, qualities that rushed seasons never teach. While others chase visibility, you're being built in invisibility. When you emerge, you will not just shine, you will sustain. Some days, this process feels unfair. You see others advancing while you wait. But heaven says, do not compare construction sites. Your foundation is deeper because your future is taller. Skyscrapers take longer to rise than small houses. You are being built for something that will last beyond the moment. In isolation, distraction, habits break. Focus sharpens. God strips away what cannot survive. Where you're going, it hurts. Yes, but so does surgery that saves a life. You are not losing, you are being refined for resilience. When you emerge from this, your peace will be different. It won't be fragile or circumstantial. It will be anchored, You'll move with calm authority because you've learned that stillness is not weakness, it's wisdom. You'll carry a quiet power that can't be faked because it was formed in fire. The silence you endure now is teaching you how to hear heaven in chaos. It's training you to discern whispers over shouts, direction over distraction. When the noise of the world tries to pull you again, you'll recognize its emptiness, because you'll have tasted fullness in the solitude of God. Heaven wants you to embrace this isolation as holy ground. Moses met God in the wilderness. David was anointed in obscurity. Even Jesus withdrew to lonely places to pray. The hidden place has always been the birthplace of power. You are walking the same pattern that birthed kings and prophets. So instead of asking, "When will this end?" ask, "What is heaven forming in me here?" Because when you shift your question, you shift your season. The faster you learn the lesson, the sooner the transition comes. Now, heaven calls you to mark this revelation. Type 999 inches, the comments below. The number 999 carries the vibration of completion, closure, and divine readiness. It symbolizes the end of one chapter and the birth of another. When you write it, you're declaring, "I am ready to rise. I am no longer afraid of isolation. I see the purpose in my preparation." End of that. This act is not ritual, it's remembrance. You are aligning yourself with heaven's timeline, acknowledging that the quiet season is not wasted, it's womb time. Every time you type 999, imagine heaven nodding, saying, "They understand." It's a signal to the unseen that you have learned the language of stillness and are ready for what's next. Soon, you will look back at this isolation and call it sacred. You'll see how it protected you from distractions that once disguised themselves as blessings. You'll realize it wasn't loneliness, it was leadership training. Heaven was molding you into someone who can stand alone and still carry peace. Someone who doesn't need a crowd to confirm calling. You are almost through this hidden chapter. Stay steady. What's forming in silence will soon speak loudly through your life. When heaven begins to reveal the signs of what is truly divine, everything false will start to fall away. You will notice it in subtle ways. First, conversations that once thrilled you suddenly feel hollow. People who once captured your attention begin to fade. And places that once felt familiar no longer feel like home. This isn't boredom, it's awakening. Heaven is tuning your spirit to recognize truth, to sense what carries His presence and what doesn't. Discernment sharpens through silence and obedience. When God opens your spiritual eyes, what you once called coincidence becomes confirmation. You begin to notice patterns, divine repetitions that guide you gently toward clarity. Numbers appear. Phrases repeat. Dreams align. And timing begins to make sense in ways logic cannot explain. The chosen can feel heaven moving before anything visible changes. It was written in the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 9. In their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. That verse explains why some of your plans keep being rerouted. Heaven is not trying to confuse you, it's correcting your compass. Sometimes divine direction feels like disruption because it forces you to abandon what you once thought you wanted. But soon, you realize that what you lost was never meant to last. As your discernment heightens, so does your sensitivity. You start feeling the difference between emotional intensity and spiritual peace. The counterfeit often brings sparks that burn fast and fade. The divine brings warmth that deepens quietly. One excites the senses, the other expands the soul. Heaven teaches that real connection doesn't need to convince, it confirms. When something is from God, peace arrives before people do. You'll feel it in your body, your thoughts, your spirit. It's not a rush, it's rest. There will be no racing heartbeat, no confusion, no exhaustion. Love ordained by heaven feels like exhaling after holding your breath too long. You'll also begin to recognize divine alignment through timing. What once required chasing will start meeting you halfway. The right people will appear naturally, not through effort, but through ease. They won't demand explanations. They will understand your language without translation. This is how heaven works. It orchestrates moments that feel ordinary but carry eternal meaning. When God sends the real thing, it won't compete with your calling. It will complement it. The person meant for you will not drain your focus from heaven. They will sharpen it. They won't be intimidated by your purpose. They'll protect it. They won't rush you into commitment. They'll walk with you into clarity. And when you meet this kind of connection, it will come with signs, not superstition, but alignment. You'll notice shared prayers answered in the same rhythm. You'll find that what burdens you burdens them too. And what brings you joy awakens something in their spirit. It's not perfection, it's partnership. Heaven-designed relationships carry 3 traits: peace, purpose, and progression. Peace means the absence of inner conflict. Purpose means shared vision. Progression means growth that draws both closer to God. If one of these is missing, the connection may not be from heaven, it may just be from hope. You will also sense confirmation in your environment. Creation itself begins to echo heaven's alignment. Doors open with ease. Opportunities flow naturally. Your energy changes. You no longer feel the need to force what's meant to unfold. Even your sleep, your dreams, your conversations begin to align with peace instead of pressure. Heaven's signs are gentle because the Spirit does not shout. It whispers. The right things flow like water, and the wrong ones feel like walking against the current. If something constantly drains your joy, that is heaven's warning disguised as exhaustion. The more you align with truth, the clearer your atmosphere becomes. Confusion starts to dissolve, leaving only clarity. You begin to trust not just what you see, but what you sense. You stop demanding evidence because faith becomes evidence enough. Heaven doesn't prove, it reveals. So, when the true person, opportunity, or partnership appears, you will know not through noise, but through knowing. The Spirit inside you will whisper, "This is safe." And there will be peace in pauses, purpose in presence, and power in partnership. You won't have to question if it's real. Your peace will confirm it before your mind does. This is how heaven communicates with its chosen, not through chaos or confusion, but through confirmation that feels like still waters after a storm. You are learning to read the language of signs, the holy rhythm of timing, peace, and alignment. Once you master this, deception will never fool you again. Heaven is teaching you the melody of truth. And soon, everything false will sound out of tune. Every increase of light attracts shadows. And as your spiritual glow grows stronger, so does the attention it receives from realms unseen. Heaven wants you to understand that the presence of warfare is not a sign of weakness, It is proof of worth. The brighter your calling, the louder the resistance. This is not punishment, it's validation. You have become too radiant to be ignored. You've likely noticed how peace often provokes disruption. Just when you start to feel balanced, something unexpected happens. A misunderstanding, an attack, a sudden wave of weariness. These are not coincidences. Darkness reacts to light like frost under fire. It melts. But not quietly. Every spiritual storm around you rises in protest of your progress. The closer you step toward divine alignment, the more the unseen world tries to pull you back into confusion. It was declared in the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." This verse reveals the battlefield. Your real enemy is not a person, not a problem, not even your past. It's the invisible pressure trying to silence your purpose. But you were never sent here to hide from warfare. You were chosen to command through it. Heaven did not give you peace so you could escape battle. It gave you peace so you could reign within it. There's a sacred strength that appears only in conflict. Like a soldier who discovers their courage in combat, you discover your authority in adversity. Every disappointment you've survived has trained your hands for spiritual warfare. Every heartbreak taught you endurance. Every delay forged discipline. The pain wasn't pointless, it was practice. When you feel the tension rising, when negativity seems louder, when anxiety presses heavy pause, and remember, this is not the time to panic, it's the time to posture. Warfare is not always won by action. Often, it's won by awareness. The enemy thrives in distraction, but loses power when you stay centered. Heaven is equipping you for a new level of battle where silence becomes your sword. You won't need to fight everyone who misunderstands you. You won't need to prove your innocence or explain your peace. Your calm is your weapon. Your consistency is your armor. When you refuse to react, the enemy exhausts himself, trying to provoke you. There is a hidden rule in the spirit. Darkness feeds on attention. The more you dwell on fear, the stronger fear feels. But the moment you shift your focus back to peace, darkness starves. That's why the enemy wants your mind occupied with worry, because a distracted warrior forgets their authority. Heaven whispers, "Stand still." Stillness isn't passivity, it's positioning. In stillness, you hear divine strategy. The Spirit begins to show you patterns how to pray, what to release, when to speak, when to stay silent. You begin to realize that not every storm is meant to be rebuked. Some are meant to be ridden until revelation arrives. The warfare you face now is not new. It's confirmation that your breakthrough is near. The moment before manifestation always carries the most resistance. You're standing at the border between what was and what will be. And the enemy is desperate to convince you to retreat. Don't. The same God who brought you this far is already standing on the other side, waiting with victory. You are not fragile. You are fortified. Every time you choose peace over panic, faith over fear, obedience over offense, you win a battle unseen. Heaven records every silent victory. Angels stand watch as you refuse to break under pressure. They know that your endurance terrifies darkness more than your words ever could. In this season, you are learning how to walk through warfare without losing your worship. You're learning that peace is not the absence of conflict, it's authority within it. The fire that once frightened you now refines you. The attacks that once confused you now confirm you. Understand this: the storm doesn't come to expose your weakness, it comes to reveal your strength. You are the calm in the chaos. You are the steady flame that no wind can snuff out. The darkness doesn't hate you because you're fragile, it hates you because you're fearless. So, when the next wave comes, don't run. Anchor yourself in truth. Remember that resistance is proof of progress. Every storm eventually bows to stillness. Every shadow eventually kneels before light. And you, God's chosen one, were created not just to survive the storm, but to command it. The warfare around you is a mirror reflecting the greatness within you. And heaven smiles, knowing that this battle will not break you, it will crown you. Heaven crowns those who wait. Every tear you've hidden, every battle you fought, in silence. Every time you chose obedience, when rebellion felt easier, none of it has gone unnoticed. Heaven has kept record, not to remind you of your struggle, but to reward your surrender. The time of proving is closing, and the time of crowning is near. You may not have realized it, but your obedience has been building something eternal. Every time you forgave when it wasn't fair, every time you blessed when you could have cursed, every time you trusted when you couldn't trace God's hand, you were shaping a crown of endurance. Heaven calls it glory, forged through faithfulness. It was declared in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. That crown is not a symbol of perfection, it's a testimony of perseverance. It represents your decision to stay when it hurt, to believe when it broke, and to rise when it would have been easier to remain fallen. You have carried your cross, and soon, heaven will exchange it for a crown. But this crown doesn't glitter in gold, it glows in grace. It's not worn on your head, but radiates from your spirit. It's the peace that can't be stolen, the joy that no storm can drown, the authority that silence cannot suppress. When you walk in this kind of obedience, you carry heaven's fragrance everywhere you go. Still, heaven wants you to know, crowns are not given in comfort. They are forged in pressure. Every no you received, every lonely night, every misunderstood moment was another layer of polish on your crown. You weren't being punished, you were being purified. Now, heaven whispers, stand tall. Crowned one. The season of hidden endurance is turning into the season of visible favor. You've walked through fire, but you came out as light. You've been pressed, but not broken. Heaven has seen it all. And the reward is not just waiting at the end, it's already unfolding around you. The peace you feel lately, that's your crown fitting perfectly. And as this light begins to spread, heaven invites you to join the flow of grace, to keep this message of hope moving like a quiet river, touching others who still stand in their storms. Tap like if these words feel like home, a way of saying, I wear my peace proudly. Laugh, share this message, like passing a torch, one flame, one heart, one ripple of light at a time. Comment what this crown means to you, because your words may become someone else's reminder to keep believing. Subscribe, not out of duty, but to stay near this current of calm, so that each new word finds you right when heaven intends. And if your heart feels moved to give, let it be as natural as breathing, as gentle as laying a single flower at the feet of light. Your support is not a transaction, it's a continuation. When you sow into light, you're not funding words, you're fueling transformation. Think of this message as a garden of golden wheat. Each like is sunlight. Each share is wind that carries the seeds farther. Each act of giving is rain that nourishes unseen soil. Together, these Hasturis become harvest souls awakened, hearts healed, burdens lifted. There is no pressure here, only invitation. If you choose to support, let it come from joy, not obligation. Every gift, no matter how small, becomes part of heaven's echo through this message. It's not about how much you give, but about how deeply you believe that light should keep traveling. Sometimes, the most beautiful offerings are silent ones, a prayer whispered, a thought shared, a quiet thank you spoken into the air. All of it counts. Heaven counts it all. You are not just hearing a message tonight, you are helping shape a movement of peace bearers, of faith keepers, of hearts that refuse to give up on goodness. Thank you for standing in the storm, for believing even when unseen, for helping this light remain alive for others who need it most. As you listen, imagine your crown not as a jewel, but as a flame. When you support, share, or even simply stay present, that flame grows brighter, not just for you, but for countless others who are still finding their way home through the dark. This is what obedience looks like. It glows quietly, gives freely, and loves endlessly. You are crowned, chosen, and carried by grace. And everything you touch from here will shine with the same light that has carried you through before anything appears on earth. It first exists in heaven. Every purpose, every partnership, every promise is written there long before you encounter it here. Heaven has already held the ceremony before your eyes ever opened to see it. What you call destiny, heaven calls design. The marriage ordained for you is not being created, it's being revealed. You have felt it in glimpses, dreams that felt too real, sudden peace when you prayed about the right person, or that moment when your spirit recognized a familiar energy before your mind could explain it. Those are not coincidences, they are echoes from heaven's covenant. Long before you walked this earth, God wrote the script of your union, a love born not from convenience, but from calling. The Spirit reveals in the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 22, "Then the Lord God made a woman from the rib he had taken out of the man, and he brought her to the man." That verse is more than creation, it's continuation. The word "brought" signifies divine orchestration. Heaven arranged, heaven aligned, and heaven presented. It means your meeting was never random. It was a heavenly introduction waiting for earthly timing. But before this sacred unveiling, there must be refining. Heaven does not reveal what you're not ready to recognize. The reason some relationships failed before was not because you were unworthy, but because you were unfinished. Heaven hides what's holy until your heart can hold it. Love too soon becomes loss, but love in season becomes legacy. In heaven's eyes, marriage is not merely companionship, it's covenant. Two assignments intertwined to multiply light. It's less about romance and more about representation. It reflects how divine love flows between creator and creation. When the right union manifests, it becomes a mirror of heaven's patience, grace, and strength. You will know when it's near, because heaven will start to speak in rhythm. Your peace will grow deeper, your distractions will grow fewer, and your focus will sharpen. Suddenly, things that used to appeal to you will lose their pull. You'll crave authenticity over excitement, depth over display. Heaven will begin shifting your desires so that only what's ordained will satisfy. This transformation is the signal that heaven's blueprint is unfolding. The person meant for you is also being prepared in their own hidden season. They are walking through lessons, tests, and healing that match your own. When the appointed time comes, you will meet, not by accident, but by divine sequence. Your connection will carry familiarity, but not fantasy. It will feel like recognition, not obsession. You will speak, and peace will answer. You will pray, and confirmation will follow. This person will not complete you, they will complement you. Where you once felt divided, you'll now feel aligned. The union heaven designed for you will carry weight. Together, you will awaken others, speak life into dark places, and embody love that builds rather than burns. You won't have to fight to keep it, because both of you will understand its source. Love, birthed in heaven, sustains itself through peace, not performance. Heaven's timing will make everything make sense. The years that felt wasted will suddenly look like foundation. Every heartbreak, every delay, every detour will reveal its purpose. You'll realize that none of it was random. It was all rehearsal for this revelation. The wedding heaven planned is not just an event, it's a convergence. It's the moment when purpose finds partnership. The vows spoken on earth will only echo what heaven has already sealed. And when it happens, there will be no anxiety, no uncertainty, no resistance, only the quiet awareness that you are standing inside something eternal. When you enter that covenant, you will see love through new eyes. It won't be about what you gain, but about what you give. It will stretch you, strengthen you, sanctify you. It will become the place where two prayers finally meet and speak the same language. And the beauty is this: heaven's version of marriage doesn't end at the altar. It begins there. It continues in every act of service, every word of kindness, every moment of grace. It becomes a living worship song, where two hearts sing one truth: we were chosen for this. Heaven is preparing that unveiling even now. You don't have to look for it, you only have to live ready. When the divine moment arrives, you won't need to chase it, you'll simply recognize it, because your spirit will remember what heaven already revealed. When heaven's timing aligns, love will not rush, it will rest. Two souls, one purpose, moving as one heartbeat beneath heaven's steady rhythm. Everything that heaven has taken you through, every silence, every battle, every heartbreak, every pause was never random. It was the blueprint leading you here, to the marriage of purpose. This is not just the joining of two hearts, it is the uniting of callings, the merging of missions. Heaven does not arrange love merely to make you happy, it aligns love to make you whole. In the beginning, when God formed creation, He spoke light into darkness, and when He formed you, He placed that same light within your soul. Now he prepares to join that light with another one who carries a complementary flame, one whose presence will not overshadow yours, but amplify it. Together, you will burn brighter, illuminating paths for others still walking in shadow. It was proclaimed in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 9, 2 are better than 1, because they have a good return for their labor. And that scripture speaks not just of labor, but of legacy. It means that the union heaven ordains multiplies more than love. It multiplies light. When two chosen ones come together, their unity becomes a living altar. Heaven smiles because it sees the reflection of its own harmony mirrored on earth. The marriage of purpose is different from every bond you've ever known. It isn't built on attraction, but on assignment. It doesn't revolve around feelings that shift with seasons, but on faith that anchors through storms. It's where ministry meets intimacy, where daily life becomes divine service. In this covenant, you will discover that love is not only gentle, it's guiding. Your partner will not compete with your calling. They will call it forth. Their words will carry wisdom. Their silence will carry safety. Their presence will carry peace. Together, you'll create an atmosphere where heaven feels at home. This union won't be about perfection. It will still face tests, tension, and temptation. But the difference is that it will stand. Because what God ordains, He also sustains. The same hand that brought you together will keep you together. Even disagreements will become doorways to deeper understanding. Each challenge will reveal how much stronger you are as one. The marriage of purpose becomes a ministry without a platform. You will speak through unity, lead through example, and heal through presence. Others will see how you love and be reminded of what divine love looks like: patient, sacrificial, unwavering. You will show that true connection isn't about possession, but partnership. Heaven calls such unions embassies of light. Wherever you go, peace will follow. You will become walking sanctuaries, carrying the fragrance of grace into workplaces, families, and communities. Your relationship will preach louder than any sermon, not with words, but with consistency. God orchestrated all your past experiences, both pain and promise, to prepare you for this alignment. The heartbreak softened your empathy. The solitude refined your strength. The tears watered the soil of your spirit so that love could bloom in purity, not desperation. Every closed door cleared space for the open one, now appearing before you. The marriage of purpose is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a greater mission. Once two hearts align under heaven's command, they stop living for comfort and start living for calling. Every decision becomes prayerful. Every act becomes worship. Every day becomes legacy. This is why heaven protected you from premature attachments. If you had settled earlier, your light would have dimmed under wrong alignment. Heaven waited until both of you were whole enough to handle holy union. Now, what once felt like delay is revealed as design. You'll know this connection not by how it excites you, but by how it steadies you. It will not demand attention. It will invite peace. It will not distract from God's voice. It will deepen your dialogue with Him. This love will feel like home, not because it's familiar, but because it's eternal. And when heaven finally unveils this covenant, everything inside you will recognize it. Your spirit will whisper, "This is what I was waiting for." Every ache will make sense. Every season of solitude will feel sacred, and every unanswered prayer will suddenly sound like preparation. The marriage of purpose does not make you complete. It reveals that you already were. Two whole souls meet, not to fill emptiness, but to overflow together. And as your union begins to reflect heaven's harmony, others will awaken to their own divine rhythm, because in the end, that's what it was always about. Not just love, but light. Not just connection, but calling. Heaven has never been after romance alone. It has been after representation. Through you, love becomes a mirror of grace, proof that when two chosen ones align, earth begins to resemble heaven again. You've walked through the journey, from the breaking to the rebuilding, from the waiting to the awakening, and now heaven smiles, knowing you've seen what many never notice, that every pause carried purpose, every pain carried preparation, and every step was guided by unseen grace. This isn't the end. Chosen one. It's the beginning of a new chapter where peace becomes your daily language and love becomes your quiet power. You are walking proof that obedience births beauty. The storms that once defined you have now refined you. What felt like delay has transformed into design. If these words have found you tonight, let them continue their flight. Tap like if your heart feels lighter, as a small gesture of gratitude for what heaven has already done within you. Share this message as a whisper of light to another soul still standing in the rain. You never know whose night your ripple will brighten. Comment below what this journey awakened in you. Your reflection may become someone's confirmation. Subscribe to remain part of this flow of faith, so each new word finds you right when your spirit needs it most. And if your heart feels moved to give, let it be like a lantern placed in a window. No pressure, no demand, only love lighting the way for another traveler. Every act of generosity keeps this message alive, turning words into warmth for those who still wander. Your giving is not a transaction, it's a translation of gratitude, a way of saying, let the light keep shining. And thank you for walking this journey to the end, for feeling deeply, for believing quietly, for standing faithfully. Together, we keep the flame alive, one act, one share, one quiet yes at a time. You are the proof that heaven still speaks through hearts willing to listen.